Okay, so hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a really exciting video for you. I'm doing I'm doing a new series basically, and it's going to be talking about things that you all want me to talk about, things that I've been through. I'm not going to talk about things that I haven't been through because I really can't speak for a thing that I haven't been through, do you know what I mean? So these all are things that I am clued up on, have been through, I'm going through, and I just feel like I want to do this. Hang on, I've chewing gum in. I always forget to take it out when people moan and I feel so bad after. But basically, I just thought this would be a good idea because it would help some people. And I know when I go through some things, no one, like, there's videos on it, but you don't feel like they understand, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, everyone's story is different. I feel like if someone can relate to me and if someone can be helped by what I've been through, I'm going through, whatever, then why not make it into a little cheeky series? So the first video is obviously in the title is about eating disorders, disordered eating, bad thoughts towards food, everything like that. So please, I'm literally begging you, please do not watch if this is going to trigger you. Like, I literally beg with my heart. I know you're probably going to be like, oh no, it's fine, I'm still going to watch this, it won't trigger me. Please, if it is gonna upset you in any way, please do not watch. Like, I literally am begging you, because I know in some states of mind nothing would help me and it would just make me worse listening to other people talk about it. So please do not watch if you feel it's not going to help you and it's going to upset you. So I put on my story questions. I put going to be doing a series blah, blah, blah. First one will be on eating disorders, and I put questions / anything relating to eating disorders. So I've kind of done a video on my story, however I didn't really tell the full truth in it. So it did start with a fear of being sick. So I got really anxious when it started in 2017, about August 2017, and I got really anxious because a big thing happened in my life, it was quite traumatic, and I got really anxious and I just stopped eating altogether. And I did lose quite a lot of weight, but not too much. Like, I still looked fine, whatever. That was kind of how it started. And then 2018 I had injections and I was consistently throwing up for like a whole day, like not once stopped, and that's what really put in my mind, like, I don't want to eat. And then I linked eating food with being ill, so it kind of started off just as that. And then that's when my bad thoughts toward food really started. Like, I was so underweight. Like, if you go back on my Instagram, and that didn't even show how bad I was, my BMI was literally on the bottom of the red, like there's like a line, and I was on just the most bottom you could be. It was it's so dangerous. I didn't think I was fat. I thought I was normal. Like, I didn't see that I was so badly underweight, and I didn't want to eat because I didn't want to put on weight. And I was so scared that if I'd eat a tiny bit, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm going to put on a bit of weight. I'd constantly be looking in the mirror at myself thinking, oh my god, my legs have gained a bit of weight, what the hell's gone on, like, oh no. And it wasn't until I met my boyfriend until I was like, right, you know what, I'm actually really skinny, I want to go over this. And I kind of did go over it. I never got help. I didn't want help because I was embarrassed, and it is something that you sometimes are embarrassed about, and I didn't really want to talk about it. Like, I just didn't. Like, it's awkward, you know what I mean? But anyway, you shouldn't feel embarrassed. That's why I'm trying to do this video, because yeah. So basically Ellis kind of did save me in a way, because it got my head round to stop being anxious and just eat. And I started eating properly, and I put on a lot of weight back, like a lot of weight back. It was a slow process. I have done a video on how to gain weight, so if you do want to try and recover, and if you do want to try and gain weight, then go watch that video because it is quite helpful. And yeah. But basically I was fine for a while, but do you know what, if you have gone through an eating disorder, at the end of the day, it's never going to go. Them thoughts always going to be there, and you're going to be very lucky if they do just completely go. Like, I was fine for a while, but like one little thing can like push me over the edge. Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's like, oh, I'm not hungry, I'll think, oh my god, I can't be hungry either. Or if someone's like, oh, I don't want dessert, I'll be like, no, neither. Because it's just like, you feel so guilty. To be honest, now I don't really ever look at myself and think, oh my god, I'm so fat. Like, I am quite happy with my body, like I'm not bothered. But I still, because I never got actual help for what I went through, I kind of just, like, now I just still have the thoughts, like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat, and then I do eat and I force myself to eat, and I'm like, as soon as I stop eating, like, I eat really quick, and as soon as I stop eating, I just feel, oh my god, and I just feel so sad. Like, it is quite bad, because I know a lot of people go through it, and I just feel so guilty. Like, it is awful, and I just think, oh my god. And then I'll get a comment on my YouTube at the same time, like, you're fat, and I'll be like, brilliant, I'm so happy, thanks for that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now with it. So I'm kind of okay. I'm a lot better than I was. Plus, I'm not underweight at the moment. So at the moment, I'll say I'm not underweight anymore, which is good. I'm just gonna brush my hair, which is obviously good. And I always do watch my weight, just so my weight doesn't drop, because honestly, it was so bad. Like, I couldn't even breathe properly at one point. It got that bad. Please ignore my hair. I don't know what's going on with it at all. Let's just kind of do that. Okay. Now we're going to get on to the questions. So, the first one is, what do I do? I feel like I'm fat because I put weight on, but then I know I'm not. Right, that is literally me. Like, that is me. Like, it's really weird to explain. Like, you feel like you're getting fat, but then you know you're not. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you feel like, oh my god, I'm getting fat, but then you like, no, love, you're not fat. Do you know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, I would talk to someone. Like, all these questions I'm going to say talk to someone, because you do. But just, you need to try and trick your brain into thinking, right, look, deep down, you know you're not fat. So stop thinking you are. Stop it. Okay? That's my words of advice. Did you realise you had one, or did someone notice first? Okay, so I was under cams anyway, because I'm on medication and other things, just they need to check up on me basically. I can't like ever be discharged from cams now because of certain reasons. But my nan was like to my mum, oh my god, she's lost so much weight, like she looks really skinny. And then obviously my mum was like, oh my god, she looks really skinny. I didn't really know, I knew myself, but I never really spoke about it. No one actually knew what I was going through, because I fobbed them all off with, it's a fear of sick, I don't want to eat because I feel sick. Which it was half true, but it was an eating disorder. Like, I feel like I didn't accept that until I felt better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always just thought, oh, it's metaphobia, but it wasn't. It started off as that, and it did go into something a lot more. And I feel like no one actually did know. Cams did try, and I had to go for checkups on my weight regularly. They did try and put me in an eating disorder hospital, and I was like, no. I was like, F right off, sit down, we ain't going there. Because I just would tell them, no, I'm fine. I was like, I love food, I just have a fear of sick. And obviously they didn't put me, because they can't section me in a hospital without my willingness, because they just can't in that situation. So I never ended up actually doing it. But yeah, answer to that is, I think I noticed first, kind of. How do you stop yourself from slipping back into old habits or mindsets? I'm struggling. Okay, I completely get you. It is so difficult. I've been doing so well recently, but I feel since the first lockdown came, I have been really struggling. Not to the extent I was before, obviously, but it is quite hard, because you think, like, especially if you've been through one and you've put on the weight now, you sometimes think, oh god, like, am I too big now? But you're not. Don't worry, you're not. And it is so hard. You've just got to think, look, I've come all this way. If my brain wasn't like this before, I can stop thinking like this again. Like, if I've stopped it before, I can stop it again. And it's so difficult because it's something you don't really want to talk about to anyone. Like, why would you want to talk about that to anyone? Like, it's not like anxiety or depression. They are taboo topics in a way, but not as much as eating disorders. So yeah. How did you get help for eating disorder and how? I never did. That's why I'm doing this video, because you all need to. Like, if you don't want to tell a parent, just go to the doctors and be like, I need help, please. Like, just beg them and be like, I don't know what to do, help me. I wish I did, because it possibly could have stopped a lot from happening. It possibly could have stopped my faults for life, do you know what I mean? But I just feel like I'm at a stage now where I wouldn't get professional help for it, because I feel like I can control the faults myself, and I've got a big support bubble. And if you don't have a support bubble, you need to get help, because trust me, these can be dangerous and you need to get help. If you think you need help, go get help. Don't put it off like I did. How did you slip into unhealthy eating habits? So obviously, I don't know why, but my mum's always brought me and my sister up, like, telling us we're beautiful, like, she's never brought us down ever. Like, I don't know how it happened, but I remember, like, when I was literally like 9 years old, I would eat in the Toby Carvery. I ate in the Toby Carvery, and I had this little HTC phone. And I remember I was like bloated, obviously, because I'd ate a whole roast. Like, what do you expect, love? Like, you're gonna be bloated, aren't you? And I took a picture of the side of my stomach, and I remember thinking, right, that's it. I'm gonna kind of diet now. I was 9. Give your head a wobble, Summer. You were 9. I remember. So since then, I've always had kind of like problems, but I've never really was like troubled with my eating until I was just turned 13. Like I said, 2017, a lot happened in that summer, and that's what kind of made me start losing a lot of weight, because I was anxious and I didn't want to eat. So really, my anxiety did trigger it, because I feel like if I didn't have anxiety, I wouldn't have had an eating disorder. I feel like anyone that has an eating disorder suffers with anxiety disorder, because it is anxiety. It's anxiety towards food. Like, you can't just have an eating disorder and not have anxiety disorder. Do you know what I mean? Like, they are linked together. But yeah, days where food didn't play on your mind. No, back then, to be honest, I can't really remember, because it was such a weird time. I don't feel I ever did. I think it was always top of my mind. Like, always like, oh, what am I going to eat next? How can I eat it without getting bloated? I have a fear of being bloated, honestly. And I was always thinking, like, it was always on the top of my mind, like, always. Now, it's not so much. Like, it is sometimes, obviously, because once you have that, you're always going to have it for life, them faults. Like, you just are. It's a fact, which is sad, but it is. So I used to all the time. Like, it was the first thing I'd wake up and think, like, what am I gonna have? I hated eating meals. Like, I used to, my favourite thing used to be like steak, and when I'd go out I would hate having steak, and I'd get like chicken or something, because I feel like steak is really fattening. And I just hated eating. Like, it was the first thing on my mind. But now it's definitely not. I'm so much more better. No, I'm not 100% better. No, I'm not 100% recovered, but I'm doing well. Alright. So this obviously has been asked a lot. I'm trying to get over it. It's hard. Have you got any tips? You're never going to get over it. I know it sounds so hard, but you're not just going to wake up one day and be like, oh, give me a bit of roast dinner. I don't know. You're not going to wake up and just love food. You're not going to wake up and not have them unhealthy eating habits. It's just not going to happen. It takes time. It takes a lot of time and patience with yourself. You need to, when you feel hungry, you need to lose that love of feeling hungry. Like, you need to swap your emotions over. So you need to stop loving being hungry and hating being full, and you need to hate being hungry and love being full. Because trust me, if you can just trick your mind into switching them two over, you will be so much more helped. Like, trust me, I used to love being hungry. Like, that like feel of hunger in me, I was like, I thrived off of, like, literally I thrived off of, which is so sad. And now when I'm hungry, I'm like, no, get some food in me. Well, most of the time, like 80% of the time, I'm like, when I'm hungry, I'm thinking, oh god, I feel ill, I need to eat. Whereas before it was the other way around, which isn't how it should be, because you should eat when you feel hungry. Like, that is just how it is, do you know what I mean? So that is the first thing you need to kind of trick your brain into thinking. And the second advice I have to get over one, well, not get over one, but help yourself, is you need to just look in the mirror and love yourself. It sounds so stupid and like, oh, love yourself, but you do, because I feel like a lot of the time with eating disorders, people, they're so cliched, like, oh, it's when you're really underweight but you think you're huge. No, it's not. You don't even have to be underweight to have anorexia or whatever. Or I hate that word, that's why I don't even say it. I like calling it eating disorder because I don't like saying that word. But you don't have, there's no like weight you should be to have an eating disorder. Like, you can have the faults, and you could be a normal weight but have the faults and have them bad feelings towards food. Like, you just need to know that you're not. And like, the thing is, a lot of people like being underweight. That's another thing. Like, you need to think, don't step on them scales and see a weight and think, oh yes, I'm so glad I'm this many kilograms, I'm so underweight, I love it. Trust me, it's not good. You do not want to be underweight. Like, you do not want to be. There's so many issues. If you want to stay alive and if you want to live, you need to not be underweight, because it's not going to happen. It can be more dangerous than being obese at the end of the day. And people, this is what I thought. I used to think, if I'm not underweight, I'm fat. Like, if I'm not in the red or the orange zone on the BMI scale, I am fat. But no, that's not how it is. You've got that whole bit of green to go until you're fat. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. You need to stop thinking that red and orange is where you want to be. You need to think, no, I need to be in the green. The whole green you got, and you're not fat. That's my best advice. And you know what? Get help. That is my best advice, because it will help you. Trust me, it will. Because they trick your brain, they train your brain into thinking all these things and thinking the opposite of what you think. So yeah, I'm waving this brush about as if someone's has purging ever come across your mind? So purging is when you behaviour to induce weight loss or manipulate body shape. So this can be self-induced vomiting, misuse of laxatives or medication, excessive exercise. So I had a fear of being sick, so I never ever would self-induced myself to be sick, because I was scared of it. Like, I just wouldn't do that. Misuse of laxative or medication, no, I also haven't done that, because I just do have the fear. Excessive exercise, now I would say in a way I did, but it got to a point where I was just too fatigued from being underweight, where I couldn't exercise. Like, there was no way, nothing could have brought me to be able to jog. But what I would do is, so if I would used to eat, and if I felt like bigger or whatever, I would like go to my room and I'd do like exercise in my room, like very minimal exercise, but like, or I'd go on like a little dog walk or whatever, or jog or something, just to like know that okay, that's fine, I can eat because I can just exercise after. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so sad, but yeah. So not really, I wouldn't say I was really like a purger, do you know what I mean? So just get glamorized. In a way I do, but I feel like it's a lot easier. In a way it's a lot easier and a lot harder in this day and age to not have one. It's harder because of social media. I've seen all these skinny girls, seen all this and that, but also it is harder to have one in a way, because it's like the trend is at the moment to have big boobs, big bum, be a bit curvy, like, but you can't have that when you're underweight. Do you know what I mean? Like, so in a way it is hard, but it also is easier these days, do you know what I mean? Because it's not a trend to be skinny, and right now it is a trend to be curvy, which is shit, because body shouldn't be in trend. You should just all be the good weight and make sure you're healthy, do you know what I mean? But in a way I do feel like they're glamorized, especially, I don't know, I just feel like people want one sometimes, and it's like, you don't want one. Yeah, they can make you lose a bit of weight, but you're gonna have them faults forever. And food is literally, it's so sad because food is a need and food is, what's it called, a necessity in life. It is literally one of the most important things, and when your mind doesn't want that, that is ridiculous. It's literally like having a fear of water or having a fear of clothes. They're all basic necessities. Society's made us feel like it's made some people feel like they can't have food, and it's like, what? Why? It's a basic necessity. You don't need to have a fear of food. Like, it's so dangerous. Sorry, I'm getting really passionate now. What other side effects come with eating disorders apart from the obvious ones? Okay, so my period completely stopped. Actually, this isn't what other side effects come from eating disorders. So I'm going to say from being underweight, because a lot of people with an eating disorder are underweight. So with me, my period completely stopped for a while, and they said to me, they were like, you need to like sort it out because this might affect you having babies in the future. And I was like, no, I want babies, I want little brothers. My heart, so like I'd lay down and my heart would like have little spasms everywhere. That was linked to me being underweight, because I haven't, since I put on weight, I have not had one since. They would like spasm all over my body. I'd feel like little bits in my arms, and like my heart would like spasm, because obviously it was trying to work really, really hard to keep me alive, because I was so ridiculously underweight. Like my thighs were literally like that, like my arm, like it was ridiculous. And it's just, you feel so fatigued. Like when you're not eating properly, think right now, like when you're hungry, I need to eat actually in a second because I'm really hungry, but when you're hungry you feel so like so fatigued and so horrible. So think, if you're not eating properly all the time, you're going to feel like that all the time, and it's so dangerous, honestly. Like I would not tan, I could not tan. So I went on 2 holidays whilst I was quite skinny. I did not produce any melanin at all. Like my hair would fall out quite a lot. Like that's when I have extensions now, but I had like dark brown hair, and every time I'd like go in the shower, it would be a lot more than what I used to have fall out. So there is quite a lot more behind it than just being skinny or having bad faults. Insecure about your body back then. Right, so this is why I'm confused with what, like myself even. I didn't ever look and think, I hate my body. I just thought, I like how I look and I want to stay like this. Like, but it wasn't normal how I looked. Like I literally looked like an alien. I was so underweight, and no one should ever look at themselves when they're underweight and think, oh my god, I look so pretty. Like you shouldn't, because it's not right and you should be a normal weight. And I thought I looked so nice, like, and I just was like, right, I'm not going to eat because I like being like this and I like being skinnier. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid, but yeah. So in a way, I knew I wasn't fat back then, but it's just the fact that I didn't know I was skinny that was the problem. And to be honest, when I met Ellis, that's when I started really thinking, right, I look really skinny, I need to put on weight, because then I hated my body, and that's why I put on the weight. You need, I know it sounds bad, but if you're underweight, if you're severely underweight, you need to think like, I hate my body. I know it sounds bad because you should always love your body, but if you are dangerously underweight, you need to hate your body. You do, because then that's the only thing that's going to make you put on weight. You need to just reverse the roles, ladies. You need to do that. Did you find it hard gaining weight? Yes, 1000%. Like, it's so difficult. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's just like, I feel like gaining weight is so much harder than losing weight. Like, gaining weight is ridiculous. Like, you've got to go from not eating much to eating more than average. Like, you can't just eat normal amount that normal people eat, because you're gaining weight. You're not stabilizing it, you're gaining it. So from eating nothing to everything in a short amount of time, it is really difficult, but it's worth it, because you are going to be healthier and you could possibly save your own life by doing that. And yeah, okay, right, I think that's enough questions for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if I blabbered on a bit, but I don't really care because I feel like I've helped some people, possibly. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment down below. I'm here to help you. I'll chat to you in the comments. Everything. I love you.